morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. So, today is going to be a Golgari deck, which is definitely not my normal speed. I prefer red-green or mono-green, but I decided to try something a little different. So I have a Golgari deck. This is a green-black deck that is centered around Death Touch. Thank you for all the follows, guys. I appreciate that. It's really nice. Uh-oh, looks like my client's not working. There we go. So this is a Golgari Death Touch deck that has actually been doing very, very well with the ladder, actually. I've actually managed to get 2 platinum with this deck. It is unconventional, but it's got a lot of things that lets it deal with the current meta right now. So right now, the things that are running constantly are the Witch's Oven with Cat, Rakdos Sacrifice. There's definitely Simic Flash, a little bit of Mono Blue Flash, but not too much of anything else. You get little spots of things in here, but it's usually the Oven, the Cat, Rakdos Sacrifice, Simic Flash, and maybe some Fires decks. Remember, I still see Jeskai Walkers with Fires in it, but this deck can deal with all of those. Oh, and I almost forgot Mono Red. You can never forget Mono Red. Mono Red aggro. We still lose the Mono Red, but we have tools to try to help us deal with Mono Red. So before I continue, I want to thank all of you guys who have followed. That is super amazing to have all you guys that actually want to watch my content and see what I'm doing. It really means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. That's really cool of you guys to follow and go. But on to the deck tech. So how this deals. Our goal is to smack them with Questing Beasts and go for the win. It's a Vigilance, Haste, Death Touch creature. The 4/4 comes down, instant attack. Unless they have an answer right then, that's guaranteed 4 damage. And then every turn after that, it's now a threat on the board that they now need to figure out how to deal with. So how it all comes together, it goes this way. You have Vraska's Swarm Eminence. This is a Planeswalker that whenever you have a creature that has Death Touch do damage to a player, it gets a 1/1 counter on it. So every creature we have in here has Death Touch. This can give itself Death Touch with a pump, but everything in here innately comes in with Death Touch. So what happens is when Vraska swarms out, every time it hits, it gets a +1/+1. So every turn it gets bigger, which makes them even more threatening. Oh, excuse me. The whole layout is you want to start off with Knight of the Ebon Legion. It's a great 1-drop. It's a 1/2. By turn 3, you can pump it to make it a 4/6. No, sorry, 4/5. And it gains Death Touch, at least during that turn. And then every time 4 more damage is done to a player, it gets a 1/1 counter. So if this is good early and late game. So early game, you need blockers. You go against Mono Red. You're going against stuff that's really fast. You drop this, and it's going to at least temporarily give you some breathing room, because more likely everything they bring in is a 1/1 or a 1/2. So they have to at least go through him. Late game, you draw this. You can drop it down and then instantly use it as a blocker because it gains +3/+3 when you pump it for 3. So this becomes a 4/5 on 1 pump that could be a blocker that gains Death Touch. And if late game you're sitting on 8-9 mana, you could pump it twice, give it +6/+6, and it doesn't even have a counter on it. That's a 7/8 going in with Death Touch. And if you have Vraska's out, then you're getting a +1/+1 at the end of turn, and then it's going to give itself a +1/+1 at the turn because you've done 4 damage. So this can become a really good threat late game, and it's a good early blocker. So it's a good early and late game tool. Orzhov Enforcer is our sort of early game damage, early game blocker at the same time. It's a 1/2 Death Touch. Doesn't get any bigger unless it has Vraska's Eminence out to get the +1, but it has Afterlife. This is how we stick to the board if we get wiped. This is how we try to give us more breathing room because it has Afterlife. So anything it attacks it, is going to die. Anything that blocks it's going to die. And then if it gets killed, we still have a body on the battlefield left over for us to deal with stuff, to give us some breathing room to sort of re-get back into the game. Legion's End is to also give us early game removal. The reason I went with so much early game is because I want to make sure that there is a clear path for questing beasts. Even though questing beasts can't be blocked by anything by 2 or greater, Legion's End is amazing. It gets rid of the 1/1 token that Lovestruck Beaks makes. So now Lovestruck Beaks can't attack. It can still defend, but it can't attack. It gets rid of, in blue decks, Terramander, and red decks, it gets rid of pretty much everything they have. Any 1-drop they drop, this is now super viable because you can wipe it out, and it lets you see their hand. So now you can plan accordingly early in the game. There's 2 Assassin's Trophies. I don't like the idea of giving my opponent a free land. But there's just some things that if we just don't get the draws we need, and we need to get into something and we're just about to get pummeled, we have to have some sort of removal to try to give us some breathing room. This is that emergency, oh my god, I need to get rid of this. It hits anything. Do not forget, this can hit lands. So if you end up going against those onesie twosies of, say, gates, lots of gates don't run a lot of basic lands. You destroy one of their lands, their gates, they don't get to search for a basic land because they don't have any in their deck. So now you get to remove something for free. But this also hits everything. So if you don't get away, you don't get anything to remove that oven that's just blowing you up with that stupid cat. There's your Assassin's Trophy. You have a wicked wolf that's just eating up all these food tokens and is becoming indestructible. Let him eat the token, destroy your tune, then every next turn destroy it, or destroy the food token before he fights to get indestructible. There's many things you can do to maneuver with this, but this is the oh my god, we need to get rid of this button. This is another 2-for-1. It's a 2/3 for 3, which is static body. But it has Death Touch and Lifelink. So, and you can tap it for any color. So, for whatever reason, it gives you that just a little bit of early ramp to get you into something bigger like Liliana or Casualties of War, which we'll get to those. This is easily like a really good center for the deck because this easily can ramp you into 5 mana, because you could have 3, 4. Yeah, this could raise you into 5 mana, which we don't have anything at 5. We have 4 and 6. But with the 5 mana, we can go Questing Beast, Knight of Airborne Legion, hit for Questing Beast, get 4 damage in. Knight, even though it didn't even attack, automatically gets a 1/1 counter because you did 4 damage by the end of the turn. So little things like that. Also, if you're sitting on 5 mana and you draw this, or you're sitting on 4 mana and you draw this, you can go 4 mana, play 5th mana, play that, and the next turn you're casting Liliana or Casualties of War. But if anything, you're getting pummeled. This is a great blocker. 2/3 body static for something small like a 1/2 or a 2/1 or a 1/2. They're not getting through. And it gives you lifelink, so every time it hits, lifelink. And they're not going to want to block it because it has Death Touch, unless they feel like they're in a position where they have to block it. So you can use this as just a free way to just get 2 life every turn. But here comes the fun. You have Questing Beast, obviously. It's a 4/4 with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Instantly comes out, can attack and block, and it has Death Touch. Kills anything that tries to block it. Anything that it does block, gone. Can't be blocked by 2 or less. And then this is something else that most people don't pay attention to. The last text. When Questing Beast does damage to an opponent, it does that much damage to a Planeswalker. So if you hit them and they have a Planeswalker out, you do 4 damage to them and then does 4 damage to the Planeswalker. If you have Vraska Swarm's Eminence out, he gets a 1/1, becoming a 5/5 for next turn. So now anytime he hits for 5 damage, he's going to do 5 damage to a Planeswalker. So easily biggest threat they're going to want to deal with. Vraska's Emissary does just that. Whenever a creature with Death Touch does damage to a player or Planeswalker, you put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Then, if you -2 it, it creates a 1/1 Black Assassin token that has Death Touch that says whenever this creature does damage to a Planeswalker, destroy it. So essentially, with this out, all my creatures gain, when it does damage to a player or a planeswalker, it gets a 1/1 counter. And then this creates a 1/1 token that says whenever it does damage to a player or a planeswalker, it gets a 1/1 counter. If it does damage to a planeswalker, destroy it. So the tokens are instant planeswalker destruction if they hit. So you make a 1/1. If they do not block it and you aim it at a planeswalker, that planeswalker gone. And then if they block it with a planeswalker, you kill whatever it is they block it with. So as you see, the goal is you put all these death touch things out that are just trying to hit things. And it puts your opponent in an awkward position where they're like, do I block, do I not? Do I let it in, or do I deal with it? And then we want stuff low because we want them to pay a lot to deal with it. We want them to spend 3 and 4 mana to kill a 1-cost Knight of the Ebon Legion, because for us, casting another one doesn't cost us anything. It costs us 1 mana. It's negligible. Oh, they want to waste a 4-cost destruction spell on a Orzhov Enforcer. That's fine. We still get a 1/1 body right after it. So now they have to deal with this 1/1 flyer, which still has some evasion, so it still makes it hard to kind of deal with. So with all this early evasion and, you have to answer me, we want them to answer these lower threats so that these bigger threats come in. Death Sprout is another removal piece that we use. It's our destroy target creature instant, and it lets us get a land out of our battlefield and get it out of our deck and put it on the battlefield. That's so crucial. So that on turn 4, we get 5 mana. If we cast this on turn 4, we have 5 mana at the end of turn 4. If we draw a land, or we have a Leyline Prowler on the battlefield, this is all good. We have Liliana Dreadhorde. We have 2 copies of that and 4 copies of Casualties of War. Liliana, Planeswalker with 6 loyalty on it. You plus it to get a 2/2 zombie. -4 to force your opponent, -4 to make all players sacrifice 2 creatures. Remember that. It's you as well. But if they wipe your board and you follow it with a Liliana, you can make them sack 2 of their creatures and it costs you nothing because you have nothing on the board. And then its -9 is you pick an opponent. They remove every permanent type that they have with the exception of 1 of each type. And then they sacrifice the rest. So if they have a land, they only keep 1 land. If they got creatures, they only keep 1 creature. If they got enchantments or artifacts, they only keep 1 of each of those. And then boom, whiteboard. Usually if that happens, that's usually GG for the opponent because now they have no way to play anything. Casualties of War. I run 4 of these specifically because of the meta that is running right now. We've got fires. We got Witch's Oven. We've got really like Aria that black creature that's 3 devotion. It just lots of things. Own questing beast that we might face up against. Lovestruck beast. Just there's tons of things that this hits. There's oh my god, playing other Lily in the mirror matches for other Lilianas. Chandra the 3/1. Chandra the 6/1. Just such a good card because you can pick everything on this. Most of the time you'll get a 2-fer, maybe a 3-fer. If you're really like behind, possibly you could possibly get all 5 on this. I've actually had a game where I've gotten all 5. Artifact, you get destroyed artifact, a creature, an enchantment, a land, and a planeswalker. This is such a good card. It is grossly good. I'm not surprised that lots of people, if they run green or black, they are running at least 2 of these, maybe even 3. I run a full 4-copy playset because of how low everything else is on my curve. As far as land, it's your basic Overgrown and Temples, so I can scry to be able to see into. Fabled Passage to get me basic lands if need be, and then Castle Lockwood. So if I'm struggling and I'm getting mana flooded, I can try to draw through it, pay 3, and then lose life based on how many cards I have in hand. So usually I try to wait till I only have 1 or no cards in hand, and then play it at the end of my opponent's turn. But that is the deck. That is the sideboard. This sideboard, I'm not gonna go to sideboard because this sideboard carried over from the first iteration of my deck. But you know what? I'll go over it. So to do best of 3, I've been working on trying to do more best of 3 building because I'm not that good at it. I don't really play best of 3 except on paper, and I haven't played paper in years. So the sideboard, we have the yeah, sideboard. So the sideboard is we have Duress. So if you're going against more counter type decks, Simic Flash, you can put Duresses in to try to get stuff out their hand early. You definitely want to run Thought Distortion in that case too, because it can't be countered, and then you can exile their entire hand with the exception of creatures and lands. So all their spells is gone. If you need more removal, Cry the Canarian to get rid of low end stuff. It does get rid of your own stuff, but if your Untitled Legion is getting counters as it should, this won't hit it. This one also doesn't hit Questing Beast. It really only hits your your Orzhov Enforcer, because everything else is above 2. So, and then even if it does, you still, well, yeah, you don't get the token if you hit it, but pretty much that's the only thing it hits in your deck. Murderous Rider for more removal if Casualties of War and Death Sprout aren't enough, and Assassin's Trophy if you need even more, you have it. Also, it gives you 2 more. It's also another body on the field if you need it. This is so if you want to run more centered around Vraska's Eminence tokens or low-end creatures. Say you feel like Liliana's too high, Casualties of War is just too high, you need to go faster. You can take some of those out to put in Golgari Queen, because it's still at the 4 mana cost, and then start sacking stuff to draw cards, and eventually get to where you emblem her to where any creature that does combat damage to them, they just lose. If you need a little bit more earlier draw power, you can add Motorvine Reclamation, which originally was in the main deck, which actually was pretty nice, but I decided to go with something a little more removal centric than rather than just let my stuff die. But I mean, if you wanted more draw instead of just out of Liliana, you could run this, take a couple things out, and a little more on a higher curve, but your stuff would guarantee you draws. And then the Great Henge, it's sideboarded because it's just such a good card. It's 2 life, 2 mana, and then any creature that comes out gets you a 1/1 and draws you a card. Most of the time, our stuff doesn't start big, but it can get big. So if you feel that whatever matchup it is like it's more of a slower matchup and you can control the game, you can throw this in to make sure you get just better card advantage than your opponent. And that's essentially the sideboard that I have to kind of deal with mostly counterspell type decks like Simic, and then deal with more creature heavy stuff that just wants to remove me like fires, because they like to run a lot of planeswalkers or a lot of big things that you just are really hard to deal with, especially when they're paying it for free. But that is the deck. I think I've been rambling on for like 20 minutes now, so like let's get into some games. So what I'm going to do, I think we'll play some ranked. Just to show that it's got some potential for rank. Alright, so there first. So we have 2 green and a tapped black, with 2 blacks that want to come out early. Now that's Sprout. So, it's kind of iffy because we have nothing else. We don't have our turn 3 play, and he can't attack till turn 2. Or sorry, turn 3, because he can't come out to turn 2. But if our player is slow, that's a possible 4 damage going in on turn 3. Why not? Let's keep it. Let's see what we do. Stone Paul. So it looks like it's probably going to be mono green Stumpy. Possibly. Rule. So, what I'm going to do, we're going to play the green. I'm going to play the Orzhov. The Orzhov, because the Orzhov innately has Death Touch. And if he swings and he kills it, his little pup collector dies, and I get a 1/1 token. So now he has to think about attack. So now I'm gonna want him to waste. Oh, there we go. So now he's gonna try to build his board. So we want double black for this. We're gonna hold off. We need to kill this, the Golgari, because anything he plays is gonna get a 1 additional counter on it. That's a very nasty position. Let's see. So next turn I'll have Death Sprout, but now I have Golgari and Thunder Shaman to deal with. That's 7 damage, puts me to 11. I'll take the 3. Oh, 4, because he's got trample. So what we'll do now, so we'll have to chump block. So my line of thought right now is pass the turn, leave my 4 mana open. He's gonna play, draw cards, gonna play something that's gonna drop, probably make that bigger, get a +1 counter. And then I'll kill it before it comes down, which means he only has the 6 and the 4, which means I can double block. I kind of like that play. I'm going to eat some more damage, but this will kind of slow his tempo down, because right now he's got tempo over me. So he's going to use this to kill my flyer. We want another black. So now what we need is like a casualties of war right now. If we can get a casualties of war, that'll hurt him a lot, because then he'll be down to 2 land. Embercleave? I'm thinking that might be an Embercleave. No, lost it. Yikes. And yeah. That's pretty much game right there. Yeah, that's a game. Because he has trample. Yeah, that's game. Good game. Yeah, I think I should have kept that hand. I got Elbenigian out too slow. Yeah, we'll definitely keep this one. Turn 1, turn 2. If we turn, shoot if we. Babowski. Babowski. Oh yes, no play on turn 1. Let's take it. Let's run with it. Drop. Okay. So I play this, so if he shocks it again, I still leave a body on the field. did Mystic. So we want that. Yes. So this gives us the 6 mana for Liliana. We'll take it. And for 1. I'm expecting some sort of enchantment removal, maybe. Probably like I forgot what it's called. Oh, Conclave. New. Maybe some sort of enchantment removal. This one, hit in for 2. And I'm gonna hit in for 4. So that is perfectly fine. For 5 with him as well. So now he needs to have more enchantment removal. Which he probably does. No, he doesn't. This is awesome. We're trying to get flooded. Yeah, we need more creatures, so we'll keep that. So he can't block this with the 2/2, and if he blocks it, or blocks, he dies. So next turn we'll Liliana.
Undead make great minions.
Actually, what does this do?
And
Enchantment spells cost 1 less. Whenever enchantment goes to the graveyard, he gets 1/1.
what a good mindless minion.
Just keep smacking him. He'll block eventually. Yeah, see? Oh, that is great. So we can... it scoops. So yeah, with this deck I actually got Platinum last season. So it was a little bit of a grind, but... it was definitely fun. It's a very entertaining deck. I feel very confident in this deck. It was really good to play. So, Lockthar. Alright, so this is a no. 4/4/4, and then 4 mana. And there's no way I'm gonna sit for 4 turns and just take damage. This is better. We will drop. I think we'll drop a land, because I have this that can act as land and as a body. I want to keep as many threats as I can. Yeah, we'll do that. Yes, I want that early. This lets me see what usually play. Mono red? If it's mono red, yeah. So I'm gonna exile that now. See what's in his hand. He doesn't get the token because it's exiled, and I get got another copy. Nice. So this is mono red. Cavalcade maybe. He can hit me for 1. So he has to shock it and hit it, or lava coil it to remove it. Yeah, this is the Cavalcade. So what we need to do... I want to save this for when he plays more. But I don't want to tap him for this just yet. Because he's going to come in for 1 each turn. Or at least he's going to come in for 2 each turn. Because I can't block that, and he's going to give this unblockable. Unless, yeah, well, it makes it only be blocked by defenders. Do this. And we'll set go. So we'll take 2. Unless he plays something else with haste that we can't block, then we'll take 3. Oh, yeah, so he can trigger that. So we'll take 5, 6. Alright, so now we can use this on 10 Street Dodger. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play it, like this turn. That's perfectly fine. So, if I pay to 2, I can play both. Need to get rid of that now.
If you see an assassin coming for you, that's a bad assassin. My services. It may cost you more than just money.
So, casualties would be really nice here. And then I could, yeah, casualties would be really nice here. And I can... yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. He got his token.
When it comes to murder.
So I'm not going to, because if I pump another one out, he'll just fly in with Chandra, hit it once, and then kill it. And there you go. Get it while it's hot. Alright, so we'll do one more match. So see, even against mono red, we can hold our own. Right, so we're on the draw. This is actually a pretty good hand. We're 1 land short from a questing beast. We've got early game removal. We've got early game stay. We already got our late game bomb. Demir? I don't even know how you say that. Finiexcuro? Churro? Churros are good. Churros are delicious. So let's see what we got coming. It puts us at 5. 1 off from Lily. Do we need anything else right now? Nah, we're good. We'll take it. Drawing. Still not sure what they're playing. So let's get something on the board. Ooh, Esper. Yeah. So we need to start attacking rather quickly. He's looking for mid to late game control. Unsummon? Or flash? He's looking for that life now. That kind of tells me that maybe he doesn't have what he wants in his hand yet. So he's hoping that I only have this and he's gonna buy some time. That's a counter spell. That's definitely a counter spell. So I don't like. Okay, we don't need any more land for right now. We need more threats because I gotta get through his counters. I think he has something to flash in, but he doesn't want to flash it in. I don't know. So let's see. I'd rather him counter this than Questing Beast.
Wherever I go, I leave bodies in my wake.
Nobody appreciates my handiwork.
He can murder this rider. He's got 2 black. So this is for any Planeswalker insurance or whatever. I'm pretty sure he's gonna drop he could drop a Fairy 3 and just bounce it or destroy it by bouncing it. Yeah, so he didn't get whatever card he's looking for. But now we're moving too slow. 2 Ginger Roots. Let's see. That's fine. You know what? One, two, 3, 4. That's actually fine. We'll let that go. It lives. Oh,
Don't
yes.
let it go to your head.
We'll do Questing Beast. So I have a green or a black. Let's get another black. Now we can see what's in his hand. He's gonna probably bind Questing Beast. Dancing Mance. He's got 1, 2, 3 in the graveyard. 3. Whoops, almost 3 in the graveyard. You can get 4. Cost 4 or less. Alright, so this is a Dance of the Mance deck. Okay, cool. So, bada bing.
Oppressors deserve whatever I feel suits them.
So we're not out of this yet. He says enough to draw the 2 cards. Yep, lawman. So awesome. So what we'll do, I'm gonna save that for Dance of the Mance, since I know he has it. I want more damage, so I'm gonna cast another one. Whoop.
I'm running out of room to
So I have this. It'll give him another land, but at this point, I'm not too worried about giving him lands. Doom foretold. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Because he wants me to sacrifice something, I'm gonna Assassin's Trophy that. Or actually, I can't sacrifice the token, so I'd have to sacrifice either Questing Beast or Roscoe. So I have to get rid of that. I'm gonna land. So these are tokens. So because of that, I can only sacrifice. I have to sacrifice non-land, non-token permanents. So I can't sacrifice any of these. The only things I can sacrifice is Vraska or Questing Beast. And this should seal the deal.
Your corpse will make an excellent minion. Good help is easy to find in war.
See? Good game. That should be game. That's, I think, exactly 9. Yeah, that's exactly 9. So, there you have it, fellas and ladies. That is my version of a Golgari deck. This is Golgari's Death Touch. Death dealing. So, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Drknative and Twitch, Drknative on YouTube, and Drknative on Facebook. I just rated a new gaming Facebook page. I think it was just yesterday. So thank you guys for following, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.